and the travelling support show their appreciation. And it's reciprocated from the players and the manager. Leanne, Crichton. Absolutely comprehensive victory for Partick Thistle this evening. Hugely deserved.
It was hugely deserved. Start to finish, I thought they were excellent. Managed the game really well. Mentioned at half-time they were clinical, they were ruthless in the first half. I thought it was a really experienced performance in the second half. They limited Queen's Park to very little throughout the game. I thought they defended really well. Right through the goalkeeper, central defenders, midfielders, work rate was outstanding. The strikers set the tone as well defensively. Lee Doolan touched in that as well when we had him in at half-time. The shape of Partick Thistle was top drawer, and they look like a side just now that are hungry. They've got a group of fans here that have got a real belief in what they're producing, and they go home happy tonight.
And Richard, an unusual occasion for ourselves, not a nail-biter in the championship for once.
Yeah, it was pretty convincing in the end. I think, you know, as Leanne said, Thistle were excellent throughout the 2 legs. I think they had loads of control in both games. Tonight they managed to take their chances and also keep it tight at the back. And to be fair to Queens, it was always going to be a tough ask. You know, losing out in the final day for automatic promotion and then having to pick yourself back up. And unfortunately for them, they fell short. But, you know, emphatic Thistle performance. But it summed up, the Thistle fans summed up the performance. You know, they were right from the first whistle, before the first whistle, they were loud, they were energetic, and that fed onto the pitch, and the players were exactly the same. I think a huge mention to Kyle Turner and Ross Dockett in midfield. I thought they were excellent. Kyle doesn't usually play that deeper role, he usually plays higher, but I thought both him and Ross kind of dovetailed off each other very, very well and allowed this man to my right the chance to go and score goals.
I was going to say, no special mention for Brian Graham tonight, Richard.
No, because I knew you were standing beside me, that's why.
He's becoming a sports scene regular. Brian, thanks very much for joining us again this evening. How would you sum it all up tonight?
First and foremost, I'd like to just start with dedicating the win to Kris Doolan and his family at this difficult time. But tonight I thought from the get-go, it takes a big save. We can't forget that early on in the game from our goalkeeper. So I think he was disappointed after the third goal the other night, but he showed great character and it's a fantastic save. And I thought we were excellent first half, everything about us, and once we get the goal, it settled us down and we just went from there.
I don't want to dwell on it too much, but obviously really sad about Kris Doolan's dad, but that kind of brings squads together sometimes, that sort of thing.
Well, everybody described Partick Thistle as a family club, and we're like that. We're a close unit as a squad as well, and when someone's hurting, we're all hurting.
Absolutely. Did you get the service you wanted tonight?
Yeah, I probably should have hat-tricked in the first half, I'm being honest. My 2 headers as well. Lucky enough for the second one, the first header was Kevin Holt's into it, he put it in the goal, and I think my second header's a fantastic save for the goalkeeper. I think he cheats a wee bit, he should really come across to the near post. All strikers are told to head it back across the goal, and did that, but it's a fantastic save.
Let's take a look at your goal. We were criticising the Queen's Park defending, but Richard was very keen to mention as well, it was great technique on the finish, Brian.
Listen, we'd worked on it. I actually moaned at Kyle the other night because it was on the other night, and then I could see Dan Brownlee, and I was just squealing at him, do not head it, it was on my foot, and then luckily enough for me, ducked out of the way and I've managed to put the ball in the back of the net.
And also, sorry Leanne to cut you off there, I believe Brian is now the 5th fastest player to 50 goals for Thistle since the Second World War.
What a stat.
I know.
Were you aware of that?
I was, I told him. Nah, I'm only kidding, I never told him.
The technique was brilliant in the goal, just to get back to it, but I was saying at half-time a lot of players would have perhaps been anticipating. I think it was Charlie Fox went for the header. You had belief that it was going to arrive.
Yeah, I just feel like kept my eye on the ball, and I knew Big Daz would give him a nudge, so I knew it was coming my way, and I just had to concentrate, make sure I got the contact, and lucky for me it flew in the back of the net.
Yeah, I was looking at your all-round performance as well. Here's just another look at it, which it was top drawer. Defensively, were you asked Brian today to do a different role for the team, because that's probably as much work as I've seen at you for a while there, the way you were backtracking tonight?
People probably question my age and playing so quickly after the other night, but listen, I want to keep playing. I think I'm Peter Pan, to be honest with you. I just had, listen, you go and help the team best way you can. I seen Ross Dockett, he was down, so I just felt I'd go and help him cover him in the first half, and especially when you've got Scott Tiffany in behind you, who's not the brightest, so you make sure you go and cover areas that he's not going to do.
The defensive shape did look really good tonight. Was that a focal point even from Tuesday, that you guys wanted to be robust and hard to break down? Because I think you were disappointed at conceding the 3 goals.
Yeah, in the manner we lost goals the other night, we were disappointed, but tonight we spoke about it before the game, just everybody to do their jobs, and even in at half time you don't get nothing without hard work. Everything in the first half was about hard work, and then we go and get the goals from it.
Brian, let's have a look at the second goal as well, because it was a goal of real quality. Yeah, question marks over the defending again, but from your point of view, really well worked.
Excellent. Stevie's great touch, and then Jack McMullen's always willing to go in the overlap.
It's a pass here though, isn't it? You know, when Lawless turns there, everyone thinks he's going to shoot or play it into Tiff initially, and he reverses it, and then they just drop off and leave Tiff in the middle of the box himself. And I mean, it's a fantastic team goal, but it's poor from them. But you do your part as well. You're at the back post, dragging that defence out the way and allow the space for wee Tiff to run into. Wee
Stevie's just so clever. Everybody's probably... We'd actually spoke about the Dundee game where McEwen comes in and puts it in the far corner. But then I thought Stevie was going to go for it, but then he tricked me as well and plays the reverse.
Actually, when you watch it, the run from McMillan looks perhaps more like a decoy run. The way that he goes and he picks up pace towards the end. A lot of defenders, I think, that they're almost getting drawn to that and think don't track it because they're looking to create that space, but he finds the pass really well. We had spoken about it pre-game, so he probably was a decoy. Everybody was shocked that Stevie played the pass, but it was a fantastic ball. Yeah.
Ryan, just before you go, you will be 36 in November, but the Premiership beckons. Sorry about that, yeah. And no team that has finished in your position in the Championship has actually gone up through the playoffs before, but do you feel that this could be the year?
Listen, we'll keep going. We've now got a really good, hard chance against United, but there's huge belief in the character of this team. You've seen it. I don't know, I think it's one defeat in about 14 or 15 games. Momentum's building at the right time, so we'll just keep going.
Leanne, you have to do the honours, I believe.
Were we coerced into this? Did we say that earlier? Yeah, tonight's man of the match, Brian.
Thanks very much, appreciate it, guys.
Well done, Brian. Thank you very much indeed. And deserved, undoubtedly, Leanne.
It was outstanding performance. I know we can laugh and joke with him as well as we do with all the players when they come and join us in the studio, but I thought his performance start to finish was excellent. He's a real focal point for the team and he gives them so much energy as well.
I'm delighted to say the Partick Thistle manager, Kris Doolan, has also joined us. Everybody on the Sportscene team offers their sympathies. It's been a difficult couple of days for you, of course, Kris, with the sad passing of your father. As for tonight, what's it meant to you, this fantastic victory against Queen's Park?
Yeah, it was probably just everything I needed. You know, it's been a turmoil time for me personally, but I just said that to the players. There's no better way than going out and playing in that manner and scoring those type of goals. You know, that's what I want to see us play like. That's how I envisage us playing. And when we put it all together, you know, defensively and in attack, they're a real force in the Championship.
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen the first couple of goals from Brian Graham and Scott Tiffany, but there's goals throughout your Partick Thistle side and lots of players that you can call on to find the back of the net when it's required.
Yeah, of course, and I think that shows the strength, the depth in the squad. Even when you make changes, you know, you're not weakening the squad, the team on the pitch, sorry. There's a lot of depth there for me, and it's about making sure everybody was involved, everybody gets an involvement at some point, because everybody's got a part to play, and when it's the playoffs, it's like tournament football, you know, you've got to win or you're out. So that's our mentality, is that we play to win in every game, but you know, it's a squad game for me, and the guys that came on, I thought, really brought something to the team as well.
Kevin Holt knows all about scoring goals against Queen's Park. He managed a couple at Firhill not that long ago, and on the score sheet again, and I guess by this time, Kris, you must have felt that your team was safe.
Yeah, I think by this point we're starting to see that, you know, we were well on top, but you know, he gets himself in the box, he's that type of person. I don't even know if it hits the back of the net, it spins back the way, I don't know if it even touches the back of the net, but he's in there. That's the difference, that we've got guys who are hungry to score goals, whether you're a full-back, centre-half or a striker like Brian Graham. People are desperate in there to help us by scoring goals for us.
He's anticipated really well, Kris, but was that a ploy tonight and a tactic to go and ask real questions of Queen? Because I felt he's put a lot more balls into the box. Brian Graham wondered on Tuesday night that he wasn't getting enough service as well. I'm sure there was a couple of comments about that and how the team reflected after Tuesday.
Yeah, I think that was a big part of it. You know, we spoke about it before the game, about to test them and to see what they're made of. We know what we're made of, and it was about what is Queen's Park made of. So we didn't want to sit back and see how the game panned out. I asked the players to take the game to them and test them. And you see the goals that we score early on in the game. It shows that, you know, we can blow them away, we can blow teams away. But it's testament to the players, because they're the ones that went out there and done it. They set up the game plan for them, but ultimately they're the ones that deliver it, and they deserve all the credit for me.
How important is strength and depth now at this point of the season, Kris? Because you bring Danny Mullen off the bench and he obviously puts the icing on the cake.
Yeah, I think at this point in the season, your squad is the main thing, because, you know, guys like Brian, you know, they bring so much to the team, but we don't want them running out of steam at this point in the season. We have to make sure we look after them, along with the others, and it's important them to utilise the squad. But it's a squad game, I say this all the time, and people have a part to play, whether that's a minute, 2 minutes or 90 minutes. Everybody's got a part to play.
How highly do you fancy your chances against Ayr United?
Yeah, I mean, I fancy our chances against anybody. I tell that to the players. With this squad, you know, I fancy our chances going the full way. I think people will take notice of us. I think they should take notice of us because of the style of play and the players we have. And I believe in them. I say that to them all the time. You know, when I took over and I was thrown in here, it was because, you know, I got the job because there was results. We got results, that was it. But that's down to the players. That's down to their reaction. And I can't thank them enough for the way they go about things, because they're a pleasure to work with, and you see the fans at the end, they appreciate the hard work as well.
So final question, Kris, I mean, and I put it to Brian as well, no team in this position in the Championship has actually made it all the way to the Premiership, but you obviously strongly believe that this could be the year.
Yeah, of course. You know, in my mind, you have to set records at some point. You have to break records at some point. Somebody has to do it, so why not us? I don't see any reason to be negative about it and always push it down. To me, it's a challenge. We like a challenge, and the full club likes a challenge, so the players will stand up and you see the reaction, you know, that they're desperate to get there. And like I said, that strength and depth in the squad, everybody's together, that's the key for me.
Well, Kris, huge congratulations, our very best wishes, and good luck against Ayr United. It's Kris Doolan, the Partick Thistle manager.
Well, first off, a win tonight, and that is a very important one for Kris Doolan and Kris Doolan's family, isn't it?
Yeah, massive. It's been a hard time for the gaffer over the last few weeks, and just delighted to get the win for him and his family and the fans as well. It's been a tough time for him, so it's put a smile on his face tonight.
Getting on the score sheet was Brian Graham. On Tuesday night, he complained that the service wasn't there for him. Did they burn a few lugs this week, making sure that you guys were providing for him?
Yeah, I think he's not been out what Brian's like. Always wants to score goals, get in the box, and took his goal really well from that corner. And then I thought he should have done another when I put it in on his head. But I think overall we were really comfortable in the game, to be honest. When we went 2 up, it was kind of just keep going, and should have been more at half time. And then second half, it was just controlling it.
How high is the belief in the group right now? You know, that's a hell of a lot of goals been scored these last few days.
It's massive, I think. Last 14, 15 games we beat one, so we've got a lot of momentum, and we just need to carry that in Ayr now, because we know it's going to be a difficult game, but we need to rest and recover and be ready.
And that's it, it's a week off now, plenty of time to get preparations done for Ayr.
Yeah, thankfully, obviously it's tight games Tuesday to Friday, so just let the body recover, and all the boys will be ready for Ayr next week.
All the very best, Kyle.
Thank you.
Thank you, cheers, good to see you.
Yeah, he's been a fantastic player all season, and Richard, really in the last couple of games as well, he's been a prominent figure for Partick Thistle in the middle of the park, sort of belying his young age.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of gave him a special mention before, along with Ross Docherty, because you know it's more natural for him to play that further forward, that number 10, if you will, behind Brian Graham, because he likes to go and attack. He's got good quality in the ball, good composure, but then being asked mid-game to drop back into midfield and then to play the full game there tonight, it's full credit to him. And you know, he's starting to develop a real understanding of the game, of his position and the positions around him, so therefore he can control the midfield along with Ross Docherty. So it's full credit to him, and he's been exceptional. He was great last year. I think he finished last season top with the top assists in the Championship. Again, you see him providing tonight. You know, on Tuesday night we see him scoring. So fantastic season for him personally, and hopefully for him it continues for more than the next 2 games.
It was 8-3 on aggregate.
Impressive.
Incredible, and it could have been even more. It is a mouth-watering match to look forward to. 2 matches between Ayr United and Partick Thistle now. Leanne, who goes into this as favourites? The first leg live with us on Friday, of course.
I honestly don't think you can pick a favourite, because
Thistle.
Partick Thistle, based on form, we'll come to you next, Richard. You can offer that impartial view.